My name is Amelia. I remember walking into that picnic in a park in Chicago, hoping maybe, just maybe, it would feel like home. The grass smelled like a summer day and sunblock with a little bit of cut grass. The laughter around me had that fake shine families put on when they want the world to think everything's perfect. My brother John clinked his glass and smirked. To the one who always shows up broke, hopeless, and still trying to be important. My parents laughed. That easy, fake laugh that hid so much. For a second I thought maybe I had forgotten what love felt like. I raised my drink, a cheap soda, in a bent plastic cup, and said, "To the desperate one who just closed the account paying your rent." The silence was sharp and beautiful, and then, I saw my brother unloading his fancy cooler from his girlfriend's car, smiling like life had given him a permanent happy face. That's when I regretted showing up. I put my plastic grocery bag with chips and soda down, next to their special baskets and blankets. My dad waved at me like he was signaling a ghost. My mom nodded at me like she'd just noticed the weather. I didn't pretend. I never pretended. For 2 hours there were jokes and insults disguised as humor. They teased me for being single, for dressing plainly, for not smiling enough. My dad's laugh at their jokes felt like a sting. I let it go. I always did. That's the game. Make fun of me, ignore me, survive. Then my brother raised his glass again, demanding the spotlight. Here's to the one who always shows up, broke, discouraged, but still trying to be important. Everyone laughed, even my parents. I didn't. I raised my cup and said what had to be said. And for the first time, their attention wasn't on their phones, kids, or polite small talk. It was mine. My brother's smile broke. My dad's eyes moved quickly to my mom. She stared at her cup like she could disappear into it. I finished my soda, wiped my hands, and said, "I'll be heading out." No one asked where I was going. No one stopped me. That's when it hit me. This was the true nature of our family. They lived in a bubble of control, and I had just popped it. Days later, texts and calls came. "Can you send the usual $1,200? I didn't respond at first. I walked. I ate lunch alone. I read. I took a nap. Then finally, I typed one word. No. They tried to make me feel guilty. They panicked, made excuses. I offered a practical solution. Move in with our parents. They called it cruel. I called it the truth. I remember sitting in my apartment that evening with the sun coming through the blinds, thinking of all the nights I'd stayed up sending them money, hoping it would earn a little thanks. But no, only expectation. Only silence after the money was sent, only jokes when I needed care. The phone calls kept coming. My parents were frantic, lecturing me about fairness, about my duty, about keeping their world together. I quietly reminded them that fairness wasn't theirs to lecture on, when they treated me like a bank machine. Silence, then laughter. The disbelief of people who assumed I would always give in, always pay, always forgive. Weeks passed. My brother moved back home. His proud image was cracked. My parents argued, blamed each other, and struggled through their own problems. And for the first time, I realized something. Without me, they couldn't function. With me, they never appreciated it. But now the illusion had been shattered. I hosted a second picnic. No music, no fancy tablecloths, no big party. Just me, a folder of opportunities and their fake smiles. I gave them each papers, job opportunities, real work, real responsibility. My brother laughed. My dad frowned. My mom just stared. "You asked for help," I said. "This is help." They left with angry looks and hurt feelings behind them. I sat alone, and for the first time in years I felt awake, free, alive. Days later, calls came. Not complaints, not demands. My brother actually took the job I found for him. My dad quietly worked in a kitchen. My mom reached out for advice on real opportunities. They were struggling, yes, but finally they were owning it. And the best part, they stopped asking me for money, because deep down, they knew I meant it when I said I was done. I remember sitting on my couch that night, hearing the city hum through my window, feeling a strange weight lift. I wasn't responsible for their problems anymore. The fear that maybe I'd have to fix everything. The worry that I'd be the bad person if I said no. All of it disappeared. And then that final family group chat message. I hadn't typed there in almost a year. I wrote, "Since it's been a while, I'm hosting a follow-up picnic. Same spot this Saturday. Come if you want." No one replied. but they showed up. My brother came straight from work. My mom looked like she'd been moving boxes all morning. My dad wore a simple jacket. No fancy jewelry, no makeup. We sat. I didn't make them wait. I told them calmly, clearly I am done paying your bills. I told them love isn't measured in direct deposits. Support isn't owed because I can afford it. They sat quietly, not angry this time, just tired, maybe even thinking about it. And when they left, no one yelled. No one blamed me. No one tried to bargain, because this time they knew I meant every word. I sat alone afterward, eating a cold sandwich, feeling something I hadn't felt in years. I was no one's support. I owed no one my sacrifices. I didn't need their approval, apologies, or recognition. I only needed the truth. I was finally standing on my own, and that standing there calm, unapologetic in the warmth of my own freedom, that felt like everything.